Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of my Sims 4 Covenant Legacy Challenge. My name is Ronald the Simmer and this is Season 3, Episode 25. With the recent death of High Lady Clara, the Maganas went into steep mourning. The new High Lady thought it was sufficient enough to only have the funeral, as their celebration of Clara's death had been at the Odina Castle. Her grandmother, the woman who raised her, was dead. The Mother Seer herself, however, came to the funeral, as this was to her grandmother. As seers do, she performed her rites of the dead upon Clara, hoping that the passage ones may one day guide her lady grandmother into the afterlife. But it was a busy week for our Mother Seer. Just days before arriving at Magana Castle, a crow had been sent to the High Church by the Queen herself, asking for the blessing to wed her cousin, Prince L. Hera pondered upon this, trying to wrap her head around the fact that the Queen wanting to marry. Their mother was forced into her marriage, but Moira wanting to have a lord husband when the mere thought of herself having a husband disgusted the Mother Seer. Hera agreed nonetheless, approving of the marriage, writing to her sister, "Whatever the Queen wants, she gets." 2 months later, the High Church would be inhabited once again, as their Queen and her Prince would marry. The two stood before the altar as they placed coins in the fountains, showing their goodwill to their goddess, a token of blessings they hoped the goddess would bestow upon their union. Princess Hera stood before the couple, saying the rites to combine these two hearts. Their rings were exchanged, and Moira and Elle would lock lips before becoming one. By the end of the ritual, Elle was no longer Prince of Sunstone, son of Deianira, but Prince Consort, husband to Queen Moira. The Queen may have lost some influence, but many didn't think much of it. Her nobles were content with this marriage and thought the Queen deserved some happiness after the life she had. Okay guys, so here we are at the wedding of Queen Moira and Prince L. They are about to go ahead and waltz together at their wedding. They're gonna kind of go up to the side here, I guess. But we do have most of our nobles here, at least the head of the households. I didn't want to fill up this household too much, so I kind of invited over the important members of the queendom, like the High Ladies, High Lady Mara, Princess Celestia, High Lady Amelia now, High Lady Marcella, let's see who else, Lady Thea, who's a part of the council, High Lady Orlin Sunneth, so she's also here, and then we of course have High Lady Kadira Magana, who is also here. What are you doing, my love? Oh, she have to play a card game apparently. And then of course over here we have in the background Prince, the Prince here, I'm guessing listening to waltz. Let's just get him to come over here and dance with the rest of everyone. He's celebrating his daughter's wedding, for God's sake. I know he's kind of happy for his daughter, especially because he was married to Queen Elodie, and they had like a somewhat, even though their marriage did become a little rocky toward the end, from what I remember with not from Elle, but from Victor and Elodie. They did love each other a great deal. They had came to love each other a lot. Even though their marriage was arranged, they did come to love each other. And of course they bore in this world Minerva and Moira. Look at this, guys. This is so romantic. But tell me guys what you think about the Queen's wedding outfit. I really didn't want it to stand out and, be something different. So I went with something like this. It's very royal in my opinion and regal. The Queen wanted to make sure that she stood out in her wedding as well. This is the wedding of her time, in her era. The greatest wedding of them all. I think that's it for the High Ladies here though, because we have, and anybody who's a High Lady is basically here. We have High Lady Mara Tarth, Celestia Ether, Orlin Sunneth, Kadira Magana, and I think that's about it. Oh, Persephone's daughter is also a High Lady, but she's still a child, so I didn't even think to invite her, to be honest. I think that's really about it. Of course, we have the Mother Seer right over here in her 3rd trimester, guys. Time has gone by quickly in The Sims. She's already about to get ready to give birth, which is exciting. Where is Princess Orlin at? Oh God, she's being stubborn, guys. She doesn't want to come down. Let me go ahead and cheat her emotional force for right now, guys. Let's just get her to come down here and dance with the rest of the party. But yes, guys, Prince L and Queen Moira are now officially married, and L is recognized as the prince consort of the Queendom of Sirius, which I think is really cool and interesting. I'm so happy to see, how things are going within the Queendom, especially with L here. Guys, a long time ago, in the early stages of the season, when Elle and Sayek were still, in their romantic triangle with Queen Moira, or, will they, won't they type of situation. Smart friends, good friends. Looks like the meter just befriended a cerebral sim. Yeah, he can like cerebral sims. That's okay. But I remember in the early stages of this season, guys, L was basically pushing Sayek away, and he was telling his beloved lover, Sayek, that you have a duty as well as I. One day you will marry, yours is to marry Orlin, and mine to marry Moira. Now, back then, guys, I just said that because, well, I'm going to say that L said it because I feel like his ambition was to one day marry Moira. But I've never thought in a million years that Moira would have married. Honestly, I never would have thought it. I just thought that she would have had her favorites because of the amount of concubines she had. But when Elle basically had that want to actually marry her, I was like, you know what? I kind of have to see where this goes. And I exactly did see where it go. He asked the queen if they could marry, and the queen actually wanted to marry Elle. And look at them now. On their wedding day, L had an ambition, guys, and his ambition was to become the next prince consort of Sirius, and he has succeeded in that. He has definitely succeeded in his ambition. I'm honestly just happy for him because I would have never thought that this would have happened for him, but it did. Guys, I actually do plan out my seasons, but an interesting thing is I kind of let the Sims do what they want. I have like an outline of how I want my seasons to go and what stepping stones are going to happen, but there are some random things that happen in between my time of me going on with the story, and one of these random things that's happened is Elle marrying the queen, which has kind of altered some things in my story that I have to kind of go look, it's not that I'm going to change what's going on in my story, but it's going to add on to the story. So like I have an outline of how I want the season to go. I already know what's going to happen somewhat. But there are ranches, or not ranches I should say, but there are things that happen in between that the Sims do on their own that makes my story even better, in my opinion. And one of these things is Elle and Moira getting married. And the funny thing is, guys, Elle has a wish. I don't know what it is. Oh my God, Deianira and Victor have become good friends. That's so nice. It's so nice to see that Deianira is befriending so many people and becoming very much a princess of the people, it looks like. She is looking bright for our princess here, guys. She is the third daughter to Queen Moira, and then also the daughter to the prince consort, the married couple. So she is going to have a very strong claim to the throne, even over Sienna, in my opinion. Even though Sienna is a second born, her claim is more stronger than Deianira in hindsight. But Deianira has that beautiful dark skin of the Syrians and that beautiful silver hair of the Syrians, plus royal blood on both sides of her family. I can only imagine how strong her claim will be, especially now that her parents are married. And Elle, as a prince consort, guys, already has a wish in store for his married day. The prince here wishes to become enemies with Orlin. Now, guys, I don't know what... Oh, guys, so tell me what you think about his makeover. I felt like it was time to cut his locks off. I feel like Elle has decided to cut his locks off. He is a now married man. I mean, nothing. I'm not saying that you can't have locks when he's married, but I think that it was time for a new makeover. And I feel like Elle wanted a new do, so he cut his locks out and he like he unlocked them, and it took him a while to do it all. Cause if you guys don't know, when you do have locks and you unlock them, it is a hassle. So it took him a while, but now he has unlocked his locks and he's letting his hair. It's still long, but he's definitely shortened it because it used to be down his back. But he wanted a new hairdo in the wake of him marrying the queen. But I do wonder, guys. Let's have him actually give a toast to his wife here. Let's give toast in honor of the queen here. So there you go. He's gonna go ahead and give a toast in honor of his wife. Um, but I don't know what offsetted this, guy. I do know that um, Orlin has had a little bit of tension with Elle in the past. Like, she's been mean to Elle in the past, and that's why they have a negative relationship. But now that he's married to the queen, I feel like he has found this new ambition within himself. I feel like Elle is very ambitious. I think Elle is very ambitious, guys, in his own way. I think he's a good person deep down, but he wants only to, I think, of course, be with Moira, but also to advance his own bloodline in a way. And the only way I can think of as to why he would want to kind of become enemies with Orlin is to further isolate her. I mean, I don't think that Orlin necessarily is isolated from the court. Look at the queen drinking her toast. Oh, this is so nice. They're toasting to the queen and their new prince consort. But I don't necessarily think that people think that Orlin is necessarily isolated, guys. Has Orlin come down? Where is Orlin at? There's so many people in here. Oh, she has come down. She does not like the fact that her mother has married. I don't necessarily think that Orlin is necessarily perceived as isolated, but I do think that Elle has probably the. I think I'm also going to give the queen to give a toast as well, because I think it makes sense. But I just feel like he wants to isolate Orlin to, in a sense, prop his daughter Deianira up. He does not like Orlin. They have had beef in the past off screen where she has been mean to Elle autonomously, which I think is very interesting. And Elle has never really tried to go after Orlin until this want popped up. And the only way I can think of this is basically to advance his own daughter Deianira. He wants to get rid of the opposition. Skip prom. He wants to get rid of her opposition, Deianira's opposition, and prop his daughter up on the throne. And someone commented it. I'm so sorry, I don't remember who did. That you could also see Princess Orlin trying to poison Prince Elle, or trying to get rid of her stepfather, because of the fact that how strong Deianira's claim might be, how much powerful he will be, and the fact that Orlin has a negative relationship with the prince consort kind of makes her lose an influence point, because he's now a powerful noble. He has say so in the government. He's now married to the queen. This is so bad for Orlin because she's already making so many enemies. I wouldn't say she's not making a lot of enemies, but she does have a lot of negative relationships. Granted, not with high ladies as of yet, and at least I don't think. Oh well, never mind. She has to lose. I have to go back and edit her influence points, because she actually does have some negative relationships with some high ladies here. Oh my god, look at this. It doesn't look like our princess is liked by the queendom. It looks like not even her own dead grandparents. Oh my god. And this might have something to do with the fact that they're technically spellcasters and fairies, so naturally she's going to get disliked, because fairies and spellcasters don't dislike each other in the Sims 4 lore. But I'm going to go with the story that people are kind of seeing right through Orlin and her brattiness, in a sense. And they don't really like the fact that she may be queen one day, sadly. One thing I will go ahead and do is have everyone start coming up here so that they can start cutting the cake. So I'm going to go ahead and get the queen to come up here with her husband. I'm going to probably cut right here, actually. Okay, guys, coming up to the banquet hall, the queen and her prince consort is now going to go ahead and cut the cake together that was made for them in their wedding day. I think this is so cute. Actually, let me go ahead and take a picture. Headline effects off. So they are going to go ahead and officially cut this cake. That's good. Okay, hopefully they feed it to each other. I think that's what they're gonna do, right? Oh, everybody's coming to take them a piece. Okay. I think that they are gonna feed it to one another. Yeah, they are. So let me go ahead and take a picture of this actually too. Okay, go ahead. All right, now let's go ahead and get them two to sit together. But I do want you guys' opinion on why do you think L? Because I mean, I have my opinion, and I think it's really to advance his own daughter's claim to the throne, and also to kind of further, isolate the Princess Orlin a little bit more. And it's probably because of the fact that he doesn't really like her personality, which also could be a tempting factor as to why he wants to make her a rival. But I do want you guys' opinion as well as to why you think this is going on and why it's happening. Okay, why are you sitting in the queen's seat, ma'am? Can you please get up? Can you please get up? I hate when they do this. I wish there was a way you can assign seats to Sims, so this wouldn't happen. Okay, now let's get the queen to come sit in her spot. Thank you very much. Now, I will go ahead and get the queen to go ahead and woohoo with her consort as if they are consummating their wedding night. I'm not going to get them to try for a baby. But the thing is with that, guys, it's a little bit tricky because I do have risky woohoo on. It's a 5% chance the queen can get pregnant. But I do have it on because I do want them to woohoo tonight. But I don't want them to try for a baby because I'm trying to restrain the queen from getting pregnant. But if she does get pregnant, it's just going to be the fate of the goddess. I just wanted them to come up here and get them a piece of cake. So what I'm going to do is, guys, I'm going to get them prepared to go ahead and not try for a baby, but basically woohoo consummate their wedding night as tradition. And I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so we are here in the consummation room, and we're going to get the queen and her consort to go ahead and kiss, and then we're going to get them settled into the bed or not. Let's see, let's just get them to go ahead and come over here to physical romance, and you can get them to woohoo. I'm debating on if I should try to see if she's pregnant afterwards or let it be a mystery. I might just check because I doubt she is going to get pregnant, but I just want to be sure before I do continue on to the next segment. I am going to try to get the Roots of the Goddess done today, guys. I'm going to go ahead and head back to the castle tonight, and we're going to try to get these things done. It's a lot of stuff to get done, actually, but today is the start of the winter, because after today is going to be the winter, and then tomorrow the council change. So this episode, guys, we will be having a council change, which is going to be very interesting in the wake of the queen's new marriage. Isn't that exciting? We're going to see who's going to be getting replaced or who's going to stay in the same areas. I wonder if Celestia is going to stay as Lady Hand. That's going to be very interesting. I wonder who's going to be the queen's next right lady. But we'll just have to see what happens. It can be one of her daughters who gets this title as well if they're teenagers, but I doubt that Orlin will get that, honestly. Let's actually see if she is pregnant. Okay, she isn't. Good. Because I didn't really want her to be pregnant. But she did consummate her wedding night with her husband. So I guess I'll see you guys back at the castle. Okay, guys, so we are back at the castle as the family here and the council and the court here is celebrating the Roots of the Goddess, which I don't really think I have fully explained this holiday because I don't really do it that often on screen with you guys. But basically, the Roots of the Goddess is basically them start celebrating the start of the winter and in honor of their goddess, essentially. They're going to do the same thing, light a candle. I think there's another holiday in the winter time. Yeah, the Day of the Goddess. And it's basically like the first day is, of course, decorating, setting up the tree. Where is the tree at, actually? Oh, wait. Did I get rid of the tree? Okay, so I decided to put the tree right here, guys. So this is where our tree is going to be. So essentially it's basically the start of the winter. So we're going to go ahead and get them to light a candles in honor of the goddess. You know, be thankful to one another, and also decorate the tree, because at the end of the season, towards the end of the season I should say, is the day of the goddess, which they will appreciate objects, they will open presents, have a thankful spirit, go by the bonfire, and have festive lighting again. And then there's prayer rites in that same week. Oh my God, so many things. This is gonna be a very, very busy week for the winter week coming up. Whose birthday is on this day? Oh, Orlin, Deianira, and Demeter. That's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be an interesting week indeed. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get our queen here to appreciate the objects, but then I want her and her husband to come over here and light these candles. So let's go ahead and get you two to light these candles. Prince Consort L can come over here. Now I do want to say something, guys, regarding like a few glitches that have been going on in my game. Okay, so some of the kids may not actually, well, I'll just wait till they light them, so then the kids can go behind them and light the candles after them. And then we're gonna go ahead and get the queen to go ahead and decorate the tree with her family and children. I'm not gonna do it with the court, but the queen and her family will get to decorate the tree together. But anyway, some glitches that have been happening, and I'm guessing it's because of the new family tree update that has been going on. I don't know actually. I don't even think this started happening when the family tree update happened, honestly, guys, because it low-key just started happening. I don't know why, but essentially I'm thinking it's because they are closely related, right? Right now they're spouses, because I had to go ahead and add it manually into the relationship panel, and it is even recognized by the family tree. But like sometimes when after like a little bit after a while, I think close relatives tend to not be married. um Elle and Moira are like first cousins, so I'm guessing the game are purposely breaking them up. Like they still have all their sentiments about being married, and they have their romantic bar, because I have MC Command Center installed to allow inbreeding to happen. But because I guess the game mechanics, I'm gonna just continue to let them play. I have a bad habit of like talking and pausing, but I'm guessing because of the game mechanics and the updates that have happened, um, it's like a glitch that's happening right now, to where the family members are essentially getting married, and then out of nowhere their marriage is non-existent. They still have the same romantic bar, but they're no longer partners, they're no longer engaged, and they're no longer married. So I'm having that issue right now. I'm hoping that eventually I can figure out what the issue is, but you're gonna see a lot of times. Look, it happened again. You see that his title Prince Consort is gone. Let's go check and see in the relationship panel. They're no longer married. They still have their romantic bar, everything in between. But because, I don't know, there's some type of glitch. I don't know if it was an MC Command Center, or maybe it's like some mod that I'm having in my game that conflicts with it. But it automatically deletes the relationship when it comes to them being married. It's like it's non-existent, which is so annoying. Because I thought this glitch was fixed when I got rid of certain mods, but apparently it's still causing the same issue. So I just wanted to give you guys a heads up, so you guys can know what is like why my Sims may not appear to be married when they actually are. Even if the game doesn't say they're married, we know they're married. Okay. um, I have things that allow them to still basically be romantic with each other. So he is still technically the Prince Consort of Sirius, but the game is trying hard. It's being very difficult and doesn't want to recognize it fully. Um, so now that that has happened, I'm going to go ahead and get Princess Deianira to come over here to light these candles where her mother is, and then I'll go ahead and get Prince Demeter to go ahead and light these candles where his father is, and then I'll go ahead and get Lady Arwen to come light these candles. And I think Pluto, I told Pluto to go put his sisters in the bed, But since he's done lighting the candles, let's go ahead and get him to do that right now. So let's go put Athena in the bed and go put Athera in the bed. Or I can get to kill two birds with one stone, since Minerva is a little bit faster. Let's go ahead and get Minerva to put Athera in the bed. So go ahead and do that for me, Minerva. And Demeter and Deianira are going to go ahead and light their candles, which is going to be nice to see. Yeah, so they're going over there to light their candles. Amelia is going to light her candles as well. And then once that is done, I'm going to go ahead and get the queen to come over here and start decorating the tree with her family. Oh, who's this? Queen Orlin Odina. It's funny to see her still walking about. Her spirit still is alive with her her consort Soren, Lord Father Soren. I'm gonna go ahead and get the queen to come over here so she can start decorating with her family. I do find it curious, guys, how this whole, like, I wonder if Elle would be direct with calling Orlin his rival. Oh, and it looks like the want has gone away. I think I'm gonna still do it, guys, because I think that makes the most sense as to what's going on right now. But like, I wonder how he would do it, guys. Like, would he try to be secretive about it, or I don't know. Oh, Arwen is back as well, guys. So she's gonna also join in on decorating the tree here with the family, with of course the prince consort and most of her children. Pluto is putting up the kids right now, but hopefully he will be back to help decorate the tree in honor of their goddess. Minerva is helping, I think, put away. Oh my god, guys, it's starting to snow. That's so nice. I miss seeing the snow when we was living in the screen, guys. So it is nice to see snow again and over here. So let's see, decorate ornaments blue and white with Elle, Sienna, Arwen, Deianira, Demeter, Pluto, and Orlin. Oh my god, poor thing. No, come over here, decorate the tree with the family. I know everyone wants to react to this first snow, but do not worry about it. Okay. I think Orlin went to go see the first snow as well. The ghosts are out tonight, guys. Oh my god. And no, Pluto, come over here with the family. Look at her. She's steady trying to go outside to react to it. Come over here and help decorate. Oh, look at that. The tree looks so pretty. Okay, so let's see. Decorate garland. Let's make it blue and white bells, I'm guessing. Sienna, Arwen, Orlin, Pluto, Deianira, Demeter. I think that's about it, right? Yeah, I can't add anybody else. So let's go ahead and get that done after that. Pluto, I know how much you want to see the snow because it's been a while, but please come inside. Come inside and decorate with your family, please. But guys, it is very sad to see where Orlin's trajectory is going, because I just always assume that our princess here, that she was kind of secretly evil. Or I wouldn't say I don't think people think that Orlin is evil, but I think they see a bratty princess and they don't like it. I always thought that she was kind of like calculated in the way she acted, but I see that Orlin isn't as smart as I thought she was. I feel like Queen Moira, however, guys, I remember someone in the comments said this the other day. They were talking about when Pluto and essentially Orlin called each other enemies, and how Pluto was the one who, you know, of course we all know Pluto was the one who sat there and made Orlin his enemy. Someone in the comments was saying how they think that Queen Moira would applaud Pluto for doing that, even though, like, she wouldn't do it in public, but she probably would do it in private, because he would be standing up to his sister. But in all honesty, guys, I don't think that Moira would do that, because Moira has kind of gone in her head. Oh, look at the tree, guys. So pretty. Okay, so decorate the topper blue and white modern with L, Orlin, Pluto. Oh, looks like the children are sleepy because they're not here anymore. Oh, I guess because they're too tall. So let's just go ahead and get Minerva to help out with this, I guess. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and let's go ahead and get someone. Oh, there's still food out, so let's hurry up and get them to eat this before it goes spoiled. Arwen's a little bit hungry. Demeter is as well. Let's get them to grab them something to eat. Because they're all a little hungry. Oh my god, everybody has to use the restroom. Let me just turn on autonomy because I have it off, so they'll be able to do what they need to do. They're just standing here. But anyway, I don't think that Moira would have applauded Pluto for that because, in all honesty, in my personal opinion, guys, I believe that Moira thinks the best in Orlin. That's why she's setting up her daughters and her other daughters in arranged marriages to prop Orlin up. I think that Moira sees the best in her daughter, and I don't really think no one sees Orlin evil. I think that people see her as a spoiled princess, and I think that Moira also sees her daughter as a spoiled princess. But Orlin acts very demure in front of her mother. She acts very innocent in front of her mother, and I think that's what Moira sees. She sees a future queen that has great potential. She doesn't see a bratty princess. And though she has sympathy for her son Pluto, she obviously likes one more than the other. I think that she does love both of her children here. She loves all of her children, but she especially loves Sienna. I think maybe that's because she sees Sienna in herself more because of her more vampiric roots than her other children, and that she kind of looks different from her siblings in a sense. And I think that Moira sees a lot of herself in Sienna because she was kind of the odd one out in her family when she was growing up. So she sees it. I think that's why she holds Sienna a little bit closer to a little bit closer than her other kids. But as far as Orlin, I just think that the queen, she hates the fact that these two don't get along anymore, and the fact that they kind of have distanced themselves from one another. And I wouldn't say that they have. We know that they're enemies, but would they call each other enemies? I don't think they would. I think that they would just say they hate each other and they despise each other. They didn't want nothing to do with one another, and I think that breaks Moira's heart. But I feel like in a sense Moira feels like it is Pluto's duty to obey Orlin because he's a man at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, Moira might have sympathy for these males, but in her mind and in her worldview and her queendom, women are still the epitome of the law. They are still above all men at the end of the day. And though Orlin may be wrong in certain situations, I feel like Moira feels as if Pluto should obey those laws, those whatever his sister says it goes. She's the eldest child of them, and she has I'm an elder sibling, and I have authority over my siblings sometimes. Because I have fun fact about me, I have a lot of siblings. I'm not gonna tell you how many I have, but it's not too many. We all come from the same parents, but I have a big family, and I do have authority over some of my siblings because of how young they are. And when I do come to the house sometime for breaks and stuff like that, I am like a third parent, and I think in a sense Orlin is a third parent. I mean, Pluto probably would also be a parent in a way, helping his mother raise his siblings, but she is the eldest child at the end of the day. And I think Moira wants, I'm not going to say she wants her daughter to take on that responsibility, but she recognizes that she does have that authority in this family as the future queen. And she sees a lot of hope in Orlin. Unlike other people who are seeing right through the spoiled brattiness, Moira is blinded to her daughter. She wants the best for her daughter. Elle, however, who has seen Orlin's true identity, who has been taunted by his stepdaughter in the past, off screen, of course. That's why they have this negative relationship. He has already seen Orlin's true colors, and he's already. I feel like people know how spiteful Orlin can be. I was gonna say everyone knows about the way Orlin kind of treats Sienna, but I think that Orlin kind of keeps that on a low because she's secretive in that way. She's smart in other ways, guys, but she's not so smart in a way of keeping her true intentions to herself. I'm gonna say that. Um, but yeah, these are some very good insights on the family here, and the fact that Elle does want to make his daughter-in-law his enemy. Now, I do need to go ahead and get a chamber made for Elle, but for the time being, I'm going to have him sleep in the queen's chambers. So let's see. Let's go ahead and assign the right side to UL. And I'm going to go ahead and assign the right side to queen. Did I say the right side for him? I meant to say the left. But let's go ahead and get them to go ahead and sleep. And I'm going to go ahead and get L to sleep as well, because it is time for bed. A lot of these ladies are getting hungry and sleepy, sadly. Let me go ahead and get them to, you know what, guys, what I'm going to do is, it's bedtime. I don't want to run this episode on too long. So what I'm going to go ahead and do instead is I'm going to go ahead and leave it off. I'm going to come back, actually. I'm not going to leave it off right here, but I'm going to come back whenever we get the stuff ready for the council reappointment. We're going to host a little bit of a ball at the goddess runs, and the queen is going to decide who is going to be her new council members. I'm going to reset some of the relationship bars just a little bit, -20, see who relationships go up the most, and that'll determine to me whether or not who is going to go ahead and be on the council and who's going to have those titles, but who's going to have those titles given to them on her council, who's going to be her new counselors, who's going to stay in the same position, what changes may be made, things of that nature. Okay, guys, so we are back. Oh my god, what's going on with you, Amelia? Anyway, we are back, and instead of going to the goddess runs, guys, I decided to take them over to the tavern instead. Here we are going to go ahead and see who the queen gains the most relationship with at this party, or at this get together, as the queen determines who's going to be her new counselors. Of course, we're going to go by who has the highest relationship to the least with her, and that'll determine what roles they will get. So as of right now, yeah, so let's see in the Robin Can Be Jokesters. These are all the people that we have at this get together. We have Nara, Amelia, Elle, Eliana, Thea, Kadira, Marcella, Robin, Celestia, Orlin, Odina, Orlin, Soneth, and Mara. Now, Thea has 100 relationship with the queen. I did bring her relationship down just a bit with the queen so that I can see how much relationship she will gain. Nara has a 56. Kadira has a 25. Marcella a 56. Robin a 40. Amelia a 95. Celestia a 46. Orlin a 77. Orlin Soneth is a 30. Moira a 27. Moira a 27. Did not mean to put that there. L 100. And Mara 27. Eliana 25. So depending on how high these relationships get for the queen, it will determine whether or not, of course, these people will be put on her council. Right now, the queen is talking in this group with Nara, Nara, Thea, and Amelia, and now her husband, L. Now, I have decided that I am going to potentially allow L to get a council position, guys, which will make him even more prestigious if he does get one. I decided to do this just because, you know, he's her husband, and sometimes consorts or regnant monarchs allow for their husbands or their wives to be a part of their council, and he naturally will have a council position just listening in on things because he is the prince consort. But I think it'd be interesting if we allowed him to have more of an agency on the council rather just a listener on the council, hearing what's going on. So it's going to be very interesting to see who the queen picks to be on her council, who becomes her lady hand, or in the case of her husband, her lord hand. It's going to be very curious to see what happens. Marcella, though, I hope that she doesn't get picked to be a part of the council, guys, because she's passing away very, very soon, and it'll be kind of be tragic to like see her pass away at the castle. Just as she's basically been appointed to the council again after many years of not being at court. So I'm hoping that she doesn't get picked and she gets to have a long life away from court, because she had her time at court during Queen Elodie and Orleans time, and even a little bit during Queen Moira's time when the war was happening. So she's been around for a very long time, and most of Queen Moira's reign, she's just been at the council. At her castle, kind of away from court. The queen is prying for secrets from Elle. Maybe she's trying to get information out of Elle to see what's happening, like asking him what's going on over here with the girls, trying to see where their minds are. Now, Eliana Tarth, guys, is the sister to High Lady Mara Tarth. So this is her sister, and she will have the potential to, of course, become a part of the council. So she might get the title of High Mistress when she does get appointed to the council, if she does. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with these two sisters. She right now just became a young adult, so she doesn't really have any what should I say? She doesn't have any titles to her besides being a mistress. Oh my god, Orlin and Celestia are becoming good friends, which is good because Celestia, this is her daughter-in-law, so it looks like these two are getting acquainted with one another as at this little get together. She's probably asking about her son Sayek in the same process. Oh, you know what? Orlin is pregnant, guys, and I think we will go ahead and get her to go ahead and fill her daughter-in-law's belly. It is her birthday today, but I didn't make a cake. I would have had her aged up here, but I didn't make a cake. Oh my god, I should have did that. But she's gonna be turning into an elder very soon. She's gonna go ahead and fill the child that is her future grandchild that's within Orlin's womb here, which is so cute. Oh, that is so cute. I'm pretty sure that Celestia is happy that her son did marry Orlin, because I mean he could have potentially married Thea instead. But Thea found love somewhere else. She found love in Hephaestus, which I think is also nice. I think I'm going to end the gathering at about 7 p.m. And I think in the next episode too, guys, I will have the gathering for the high commanders, for the fairy guard, to see who is going to be selected amongst the fairy guard, to see who's going to be selected amongst the angel guard, and who's going to become the high commander out of Persephone, and the other two ladies that are a part of the other two Trisses that are a part of the guard, a part of the Queen's Guard. So it's going to be interesting to see if Persephone will keep her title as high commander, or if the Sycamores, or the I forget the other one's name. I know her first name is Clementine, and I think Freya. It's going to be interesting to see if Triss Freya or Triss Clementine will get the title of high commander. Would you describe the family dynamic between Kadira and Amelia as being jokesters? Sure, why not? Oh my god, so many people have to use the restroom. Interesting. So far, a 37. Let me actually look at what's going on. So Thea, let's start with Thea. She had a 70 starting off. So Thea has gone up by 11 points, guys. Elle also has gone up by 16 points, it looks like. Kadira had 25, so she's going up by 11 points, which is interesting. I hope I'm not getting this math wrong. Princess Orlin had a 77 naturally, but she's gone up by a few points, so she's gone up by like 5 points. We're gonna see by 7 with the queen gets into with her ladies here and who's going to be selected upon the council. But it looks like right now, guys, Elle is looking to become the first male to be selected as her lady hand, or a lord hand, I should say, in that situation. That's a little scary because if let's say that L does get selected to be a part of the council, guys, it's gonna give him even more power in the hands of her of her queendom, and it'll kind of go back to the same story arc that they had beforehand in the beginning of the season during the war, or should I say during the war of season 2, actually, when the queen was giving a lot of power to her father, and people were starting to question the queen's authority and whether or not they should even trust. It looks like one of her queen's guard has also come. She's gonna go ahead and just meet him because she barely knows her her guard here, one of her queen's guard. But it's gonna be very interesting to see how these things will happen because, in truth, what's going on? You guys, Amelia does not like her husband, guys. I've been noticing this. She has been going around asking women, oh my God, and her husband has been noticing it. I think that Amelia is a lesbian, guys. I think she's gay because she keeps trying to go up to women and ask them to woohoo, which I think is very interesting on her part. I don't really think she's interested in men. Definitely her husband, Capheus. Yeah. He's thinking of getting a divorce. Well, you can't get a divorce, girl. Not in this realm. So if you guys get a divorce, I have to remarry you. Oh my God. And Amelia has an illness, so I will have to roll for this. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in my mental note that she did get sick. So I gotta watch out for that. Anybody else got sick? I don't think so. What's going on here? She just came outside. You can go ahead and use the restroom. And I'm going to go ahead and get Nara inside of a winter wear because everyone's getting cold and stuff. But yeah, it's kind of going to be like the same situation, guys, with her father and them feeling the queen is giving too much power to men. If I feel like Elle does get a part of this council, which is going to be very interesting, but I don't think Moira thinks that way. I mean, she kind of distanced herself from her father in the beginning of her reign, sitting away from court. He kind of had to beg his daughter to come back to court. But that was part of the reason why she sent her father away, so people can like look to her as queen. So maybe they won't see it that way, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens in these circumstances, I should say. Now, what's also interesting, guys, is the fact that Orlin, what's this? She wants to become friends with her great aunt Celestia, which I think is cool. Let's just go ahead and get her to talk to her. Whine about unfair life. I think she would do that. Console about grief, and then hug your aunt lovingly, I think. So let's see. Affection, hug lovingly. What type of fairy powers does she have? Let me see. If I come over here to fairy, sway emotion to energize. So she's gonna influence her aunt a little bit, you know, use a little bit of her power to kind of get her on her side here. Let me see what else I can do. I don't think I can do anything. She can apply an element. Interesting. That'll be very interesting to see what happens. But she's gonna make her aunt a little bit energized, so that way, you know, she has a little bit of a easier time to sway her into becoming her friend. Flood with laughter. What else? Joke about body hair. But it is going to be very interesting, guys, because I think Orlin is going to be going down a path of her influence becoming very, very strained as she continues to get older. and it continues to, and when power shifts happen. Now this might increase her influence just a little bit by becoming friends with Celestia, because if I can remember correctly, Celestia supported Deianira instead of Orlin. But maybe this is what she's doing. She's trying to get closer to Celestia so that she can go ahead and make more alliances on her part, because she recognizes that I feel like people are not seeing her in the best of light nowadays, which is very sad on her part. But she did it to herself in a way. Sad to say. But one thing I do find interesting is the fact that, oh, she's not really liking something. Deianira is going to have to get more influence added to herself, guys, because now her father is a part of the council. So naturally, not a part of the council, but is the prince consort. So naturally, now that he's married to the queen, I will have to add, I think, 4 influence points to Deianira's total, because a concubine succeeded in basically marrying the queen. She's going to be more influential than before just because of the fact that her father has married the queen, which is very, very interesting on her part and very scary for Orlin. Because even if, guys, Deianira does not want to take the throne, a coup can still happen against Orlin. If she's not liked by majority of the council and they like Deianira more, a coup can still happen. And oh my god, it is time for me to decide who is going to be a part of that council. So yeah, Moira and Thea can be close. I can definitely see that happening. So oh my god, this woman just keeps on trying to cheat on her husband. I might have to get Thea into a romantic relationship with a woman to see who in I might have to test it out. But anyway, enough of that. I am going to go ahead, guys, and calculate who the queen has basically gotten the most relationship with since this party. And once I'm done calculating it, I will meet you guys back at the castle, and we're going to see who's on the council table at the end of the episode. So I'll see you guys then. So guys, we are back at the castle, and right now the queen is sitting at her council table as she has selected the ladies that will be a part of her council. Someone said eating dirt was okay, but someone else said eating dirt will make you die. Is it okay to eat dirt? Eating dirt is really unhealthy. If you do, kids will tease you. Let's just say eating dirt is unhealthy. I think that's something that Moira would do as a parent. I don't think that she would be so mean and say kids will tease you. Why are you eating dirt, Arwen? But anyway, right now we are having the council meeting. A council resetting here, guys, and I'm gonna go through the relationships that were able to become a part of this council here. So let me go ahead and look through my notes right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell you who all has their roles and what positions they have gathered. So we're gonna start off with the lady hand first. So the person who became the lady hand, guys, was High Lady Thea. Well, not High Lady Thea, Lady Thea herself. She's not a high lady as of yet, but Thea had a relationship of 100 with the queen, but she ended up gaining 28 points in all. So she basically has, we're just adding on to already her 100. She has 128 points added on to her relationship with the queen. So she became the lady hand to Queen Moira, which is very interesting. So she's gonna have to go to that tower, guys. I'm gonna get all of that stuff settled by the next episode, so that'll be fun. The next person to get the next second highest ranking title or role on the council was Robin Crescent. So Robin, guys, is the sister to Thea. So as you guys can see here, this is her sister, and of course their mother, High Lady Marcella. So interestingly enough, another lady of the Crescent family is on the council, and she became, guys, the Lady Knight. So we're gonna give her a makeover, make her more appropriate to court. Instead of looking like a high mistress, she will get her title ranked up to a high mistress now that she is a part of this council. But I'm gonna make her look like she's a part of this a part of this court. She's not gonna have this mistress attire that the daughters of the ladies tend to have. So we're gonna give her a better makeover. The next person on the list, guys, is the Lady Alchemist. And the person who has gotten this title, this council position, is Lady Nara, the daughter of Princess Celestia. So Lady Nara Ether has come to court, and she has been selected to be the new Lady Alchemist of the Queendom. So this is going to be very interesting change. I'm excited to go ahead and see how this goes. Her daughter Yesina has already grown up, so I got to give her a makeover. But of course, she's married to one of the Queen's Guard, Tristan. So that's kind of cool to see. And then the next person, guys, to go ahead and get the last council position is, of course, Kadira. And Kadira, guys. Oh, I didn't even tell you guys their points. So Robin ended up getting she had a level of 40, but she gained 24 points in her relationship. And Nara had a 21. She had a 56, but she gained plus 21, so she became the Lady Alchemist because she was like the third most. She was the third person that gained the most points during the ball or the get together, and Kadira was the third lady, the fourth lady, I should say, and she became, of course, the Lady Stewardess with a level 25, like a level 25 friendship with the Queen, but she ended up gaining 20 points in basically the get together, and she became the Lady Stewardess. Right behind her, guys, was the Prince Consort, Prince L. So he had a 18 with the Queen. He of course had 100, but in total now he has 118 points with the Queen, but he didn't get a council position because all of them were of course taken. So he could have very much been on this council if it wasn't for Clara here. I mean, not Clara, Kadira. This is not Clara. This is her granddaughter. But if it wasn't for Kadira, he could have definitely been the Lord Stewardess, which would have been interesting. Now, I do have the Prince here because he is consort to the Queen, so he's sitting closer to her. And of course, I have the Crown Princess sitting right next to the Queen because she's, going to be here at this council position to see what's going on at these meetings. She's going to be future queen, so she needs to get her lessons in becoming a queen. That's something that the Queen really wants to make sure she does, is educate her daughters to make sure that they know what is going on as future queens, to ensure to them that you know what you're doing as a queen, because that's something that she didn't really get a chance to do, as her mother had died prematurely, and her grandmother Queen Orlin didn't really put Moira on council meetings. She used to sit outside the council meetings right here listening in, but she never really was a part of council meetings, so she didn't really get full educated details on what was going on at court. Now, if we're gonna go with everybody else, Marcella stayed at a 56, guys, so her relationship didn't go up with the Queen. Amelia, which was the previous Lady Knight, had a 95, but she only gave 5 points. Celestia had a 46. It didn't go up at all. Orlin, our princess here, she had a 77, and her relationship went up with her mother by a 9. So of course she went into the 80s. Orlin had a 30. So her Orlin's son, I should say, had a 30, and her relationship went up with the Queen by a 7 points. And Elle, of course, had 100, and it went up by 18. Moira, why is that still there? I thought I got rid of that. But Eliana had a 25, and it went up by nothing. And Mara had a 27, and it only went up by 5 points. So the Queen has definitely picked her council. She has decided to add more crescents to her council. She really loves the crescents, guys. It looks like the sonnets are not a part of this council. So she did not add the sonnets again. Maybe she thinks it's for the best, as she did have to, the sonnets have had a lengthy history of not being the most trustworthy council members, especially after what happened with High Lady Jaleesa and how things turned around for her. And then, she definitely added Thea and Robin here, which are daughters to High Lady Marcella. Thea is going to be soon the next High Lady of Crescent Castle. And this is just a sister to, of course, the High Lady. And then, of course, we have Kadira, which is going to be the future daughter-in-law to the Queen. So she made sure she put one of her daughter-in-laws on this council, which I think is a very strategic move on her part. She's trying to make sure that the Maganos are staying close to her, as they were trusted allies to her in the past, especially Clara. they have always been good allies to the queendom of Sirius. So she was trying to make sure that her daughter-in-law is close to the throne by putting her on his council. And then I think Celestia, guys, she must have not wanted to be on a council anymore. She's getting a little older. It was her birthday today. We didn't get to throw a birthday party for her because I was busy with other things, sadly. But instead of Celestia being on the council, the queen selected Nara, her daughter, instead, which is also going to be the future High Lady of Star Castle. So, Nara, being the daughter of a princess, married to a queen's guard, an angel queen's guard, having half angel, half witch children, I think definitely is upping her standing. And now that she is, of course, the Lady Alchemist. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with these ladies now that things have changed just a bit. Also, next episode, we are definitely going to go ahead and see who's going to be the next High Commander of the Queen's Guard. The Queen is going to host a little bit of a party to see what's going to happen there. And we're going to determine to see what is going to happen with that. I wonder if Persephone is going to stay on this council. Oh, I forgot to even put her in here. But we're going to just say like she's getting prepared to see if she's going to even be on a council still, basically. Which is why she wasn't at that council meeting. But it's going to be definitely interesting to see whether or not she's going to stay on the council, or if Freya or Clementine will be the next high commanders of her Queen's Guard. It's very interesting indeed. But anyway, guys, this episode has gone on very much long enough. So I think I'm going to end the episode off here. My name is Ron of December, guys, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.